Welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for being part of this community of ours. We help entrepreneurs with any wisdom that we have, we being me or guests that I bring on. Our goal is to really help entrepreneurs disrupt, innovate, change the world, do all the amazing things that they're doing. And so any wisdom or insights that we can give, we're all about it. Today, I'm going to just talk a little bit about work ethic. I want to talk about what potential you have or capabilities that you think you have. I'm often reminded of a saying that I've heard, which is, I do more than I should, yet less than I know I can. So what does that mean? I do more than I should, meaning you work harder than the average person. So you feel like you're, putting yourself in a place where you can be successful, yet it's less than you're capable of doing. So you still have gas left in the tank. And here's a very dangerous thing that many entrepreneurs face. So when you decide that you're going to become an entrepreneur, the people that you're surrounding yourselves with may not be entrepreneurs. They may be people who are perfectly content working in the job that they have. They may not be aspiring for whatever greatness that you're hoping to accomplish. And so by comparing yourself to these individuals, you're really, lowering the bar of what you think is possible. And you feel like you're doing more because the people that you're surrounding yourselves with, which then when you think about it, you ask yourself, am I really doing everything that I can? Am I really putting 110% effort, or is there gas left in the tank? And so that's where, you're doing more than you think you should, because the people you're surrounding with yourselves aren't doing the work that you're doing. You're working really hard. It's kind of like you're running a race and everybody else is walking and you're running and you feel like you're going really fast. But then you put yourself on a different racetrack and it's a bunch of people sprinting and you were jogging the whole time and now you're feeling like you're going really slow. So what I encourage everybody to do is, as you start, unpacking what it is that you want to do, you start to realize the amount of effort that it's going to take to do what you're trying to accomplish. Ask yourself, am I surrounding myself with people who are aspiring me to do more? Am I comparing myself to people who are doing what I want to be, or what I want my life and my business to look like? And if the answer to these questions are no, you got to find yourself a new circle of people. Now, that doesn't mean you have to alienate all your old friends that may be perfectly content in their jobs. That's not what I'm advocating here. But what I am saying is that in your workday, whatever that might look like, which for many of us is very long, but in your workday, surround yourself with people that you aspire to be, or that are working at a level that you aspire to work at. And what you'll do is you'll start comparing yourselves naturally to people who are working probably harder than you are. And I know that you've heard people say only focus on yourself, which is great, but inevitably people are human and they are going to look around and see who else is working at their level. So again, the saying that, I do more than I think I should, if you ask yourself, or if you're saying to yourself, I'm doing more than I think I should, you need to go find yourself a new company to keep so that you can be motivated and inspired to go do more. And then, when you say I'm doing less than I know I can, there's always another. And I love, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He's got some great speeches, and I really admire, kind of his humble background and how he came, to where he is today. And he talks about the concept of one more. And his theory is, I just tried to do one more than I did the day before. And he was doing the speech, and it was, I think, in reference to the gym. And he's saying, every time I go to the gym, I want to try to get one more set or one more pound. I want to increase just one more. And I think that's really what growth is all about. It's about not necessarily becoming the best that you can be. It's being the best that you can be and then being a little bit better each day, because, the best that you can be today isn't as good as the best as you can be tomorrow, right? You can always become better and you always have to aspire for that greatness. So again, going back to my original saying is, I do more than I think I should. Go find a new company. Put yourself in a place where you actually feel like you're not working as hard as the people around you. And then never settle for anything less than the best that you can do that day, realizing that tomorrow you have an opportunity to do better. So again, just a little bit of a rant. I wanted to make sure that, for those of you that are listening, because today is Christmas, I wanted to make sure that for those of you listening got some value out of it. And so I hope you find this valuable. I hope you find that this is information that you can apply in your own life. And as we get to the end of the year here and start planning into the new year, I really hope that everybody puts good plans in place And remember, just because you're working hard now doesn't mean that you can't work harder, smarter, and better next year. Have a great day. I'm Ron Dichter. This is Projecting Grandeur.